I think damn near the only true testament to real change is if you can say with 100% certainty that you would never do something again. Like, for me, I can say with 100% certainty I will never again eat meat in this life. I can also say with 100% certainty I will never smoke weed again in this life. I know also with 100% certainty I will never drink alcohol again in this life or do any recreational drugs, because that time is up. That there was a time for it and that time is past, you know. As soon as you get enlightened to something internally, truly, when you truly know a direction that you want to go in, and it's clear as day, it's all green lights, there's no question about a different decision. It's easy, actually. It is legitimately easy, you know. For example, with meat, I woke up one morning and I knew that was it. That was the previous day was my last day, and I was forever never gonna do it again, you know. And that was a certain grace, you know. With smoking and drinking, it was a little less sudden, but essentially it was one New Year's, smoking a blunt on the roof with my bro, weed and tobacco mixed, drinking a beer. New Year's in LA, just low-key celebrating, nothing special. But I got so fucked up for some reason. I got so dizzy and I got so lightheaded and I was puking. And it wasn't even that much. It was 1 or 2 beers, man, you know, and like 1 spliff. But for whatever reason, I got so fucked up that I thought I potentially would need to go to the hospital, and I wasn't even able to climb off the roof, you know. I was worried, you know. My bro went down, got some water for me. We just chilled it out. 30-40 minutes went by and the blood kind of came back to my body. Wasn't so lightheaded anymore. And it was just so freaking obvious that I don't want to die. Not yet. And not only that, I want to live as long as I can, you know, as long as is natural. I don't want to make it any less long than it could be, right? So it just became obvious that I don't want to drink and I don't want to smoke, because that shit was just obvious to me that day, how it's shortening my life. And I don't want that. I want a long life. So it's just fucking obvious, you know. You know, those habits were somehow more sticky, you know. I still probably had 1 or 2 more drinks. And I think I smoked weed twice since that day. But as soon as I made a promise to myself, I made a vow never to do it again. Now I know, you know, I just made it official. That was the kind of the spiritual end of it. There was 1 or 2 more kind of episodes of the kind of final goodbyes of the vice, so to speak. But really it was just embers in the fire that had already had water poured all over it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I really believe those are just markers that you can use to determine real transformation, you know, or turning points. Now, there's like a lot of stuff that I've been working on since then that I cannot say with 100% certainty that I wouldn't do again. And it just goes to show me that that transformation has not occurred truly, in truth, right? Not fully, just somewhere in the process of it or whatever. And, yeah, I don't know, just meditating on that, like, or rather just fucking thinking about it. in one way, I'm a little bit depressed over my own progress over the last 4 years spiritually, because it doesn't seem like much has really happened, you know. I even just looked what I've done 80 days now with these videos, 80 plus, and I'm like, damn, I'm like the same guy I was in the beginning of the videos, you know. Okay, 80 days is a pretty small sample size, but still, you know. And then I think, you know, what about 3-4 years? Okay, for sure I was different, you know. For sure I was different, but are there things that I have changed deeply in myself that I know I would never do again or never go back to? I don't know if there are other categories. I'm thinking mainly of like kind of frivolous sexual encounters, for example, that I can't seem to let go of, or can't seem to let go of the desire for, you know. But I guess, you know, everything takes its own process, right? Like perhaps some things are more deeply ingrained in us than others, and I totally understand that sexual desire is pretty freaking deeply ingrained, given that we're like human beings and a reproductive species like everyone else, you know. So, and I'm not even saying really it's bad that we need to let go of it, because we are humans, so it's fine. But when it leaves the healthy realm and gets to more unhealthy realms, that's the area I want to let go of. So it's this kind of insatiable desire, right? This part of it. Going this way. That dude's creeping me out a little bit. YOLO, bro. You only live once this fucking life. But anyway. Yeah, so on one hand, a little bit depressed about the progress. On the other hand, understanding that some things just take longer. And, you know, a big part of the spiritual path is just fucking perseverance. Simple as that. Just to fucking get up and do the same shit again the next day, and to not give up in the process, you know. So, yeah, there is an element of grace in change for sure. And it might even be the only thing that actually fucking makes anything happen. I don't know. It might even be the only thing that actually does anything. But, I don't know. For sure, we can do things too. And it pushes things along. Positive actions just build on themselves. And maybe it attracts the divine to take action on your behalf. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. Another aspect of growth is that, I don't know, just like when it's hard to see ourselves grow without documentation, right? Like, I remember I was in 3rd grade and just thinking about how, you know, they were talking about college already, and college students. I was like, yeah, those people are so old. You know, I can't imagine ever being that old. I'm such a young kid. Like to be going to college is such an adult thing to do. And then, lo and behold, there I am in college, just feeling like a freaking kid. You know, not feeling like an adult at all. You know what I mean? You look at movies from like the 50s, like Grease Lightning, you're like, these people are in high school? They're like fully adults, you know? I'm like a freaking kid, you know? But anyway, and here I am now, 32. That's a fucking proper adult age on any fucking meter, you know? By any measure. And still there's, you know, all of the trailings of the childhood nature and tendencies still, you know, buried beneath the fucking, you know, presentable storefront. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know, change, you know. You know, I get kind of antsy about it, just wanting shit to happen quicker, but on the other hand of things, I gotta just let go a little bit, you know. It's gotta be natural, you know. It cannot be forced. It really cannot be. And nobody can force it, really. I can't even force it upon myself, even though I try to, you know. I'll go through periods of intense well, relatively intense, whatever you want to call it, tapasya, or rather just, pretty standard discipline practices of taking things away from myself for periods of time and then, to try and reduce the attachment to said things. But it doesn't go away. And it's just so obvious that attachment has nothing to do with the physical thing. It's all mental, It's all mental. Practically all mental, And removing yourself physically from things really, is only the beginning. And the real work is to actually let go of something mentally. To truly let go of something mentally, those are the moments when it changes. Those are those day to night switches. If you can really let go of something, and 100% certainty, you don't ever need to go back to it. You say, I'm fully letting go. This is it. I'm done. But that feeling, that action, you could even say, I don't know what inspires it, to be honest. And I don't know how to get there besides just through life itself. So I just do as much as we can to prepare and try and influence it. But I guess for me, just got to be a little bit less stressed about making it happen in a timeline. But hey, we're going to do our best. Good luck.